Hi and welcome to the second part of my subtitles and narration tutorial for Unreal Engine 4. In the first part we did most of the setup work, and on this part, the second part, we're gonna do more blueprint work and the code itself. So let's begin. Now I've just cleared here the events, and now we're gonna go inside our subtitle manager and start creating the code here. I deleted the print string that was here, and now I'm going to create the system that's going to show the next line in our subtitle list whenever it's being called here, okay, in our track. Okay, so let's start doing it. If you're just starting out with blueprints, this might get a little bit confusing. I'd say it's not complicated. It's pretty easy what I'm doing. And just follow along with me until the end, and I'm sure you're gonna get it after we finish. So first thing, I want the system to know if this is the first line in the sequence or not. Okay, it's important to know that because the first line is treated differently. Also because I want maybe I want to do multiple sequences and I want it to reset each time it's the first line. So the first line is important. So I want inside this event to have a new input that is that we're gonna get from, again, all the way from here. Okay, so here in the event, I'm gonna tell it if it's a new line or not. Let me show you. So in our subtitle manager, in our show next line event, I'm gonna insert a new input. Okay, and I'm gonna call it new line. Okay, and now I'm gonna do a boolean, okay, a branch, and connect it here. And actually this event will do one thing if it's a new line, and another thing very similar if it's not a new line, if it's just one of the subtitle lines following the new line. Okay, it's very similar, it's just a little bit different. Afterwards, I'm going to create a new integer. I'm just going to delete this one. I'm going to create a new integer, a new whole number. We're going to call it current row, and this is going to count which row we are currently at in our list. Okay, our list has a few lines in it, and we want to know in which line we are at the moment. Okay, it's very important. We're going to start it out with 0, okay, because we always start with line 0 when we begin. All right, now because this information is passed along through the event, okay, I want to bring it along the other through the functions I was calling. So let's go to remember we had the function show line. Okay, so I want to put it here too, because we have like this this flow of information going through from here to here all the way to the event. Okay, all the way to the event, sorry, here in our showline event. So again, I'm gonna use it here in the input, and then I'm gonna bring it to my function here in the same blueprint. I'm just gonna drag it to the new line. And also it's important to remember in the sequence editor, remember also to set it up. So this is what we're gonna do when we do the new key bindings. Here, don't set anything. I'll show you in a moment what we're gonna do. So for now, just when you go to the subtitles manager and you go to your new custom event to show next line, and you go to your new branch that you made, you just pull from here to your input, and you have a new line. Okay, and just go to the function you created, the show line, which calls this event, and also do the same thing to here. Okay, that's it. And now you're set up with this. So we have the new line, we have the branch ready, and we have the counter ready too. And now I want to do the following thing. So if this is the first line, okay, so I want this, I'm going to set this to 0 because our counter is 0. Okay, because if this is, of course, a new line, we want to reset our counter to 0. Very, very important. Now we need to bring a new kind of data here to our process, to our code we are writing. It's going to be the list of subtitles we want to process. Okay, we need to input it here somehow. First of all, just notice that I changed from new line to first line here. It's more descriptive because we're actually asking if it's the first line of the subtitle list. Okay, not if it's a new line, if it's the first line. So change it also. So how do I bring my subtitles list here? Okay, the list that I want to process. So I'm going to my show next line event, and here I'm going to edit a new data type, a new variable. It's a data table. Okay, it's a data table, and I'm going to call it narration list. Okay, that's the list we're bringing inside here. Okay, and while I'm bringing it in, I also want to set it. So I'm promoting it to a variable, and I'm gonna call it current narration list. Okay, and now it's set up. And now, very important, don't forget to do it also in the function that is being called through the sequencer. Okay, so I'm going to my, remember my workaround function here, show line. Okay, here I also change it to first line. Okay, and now you see I have the narration list here to choose from, because I just edited it here and compile, and now I can see it here too, that output. So now I'm gonna introduce it here through the pipeline. Okay, and it's going to come through our sequencer soon. We're going to connect it. So through a sequencer, we're going to get the list that I want to process. It's going to fire through the function here into the event. Okay, and it's going to be here going for the process. Okay, so let's go through the first event. The first branch here, if it's the first line. What happens if this is the first line? Okay, of the list that we want to show. So first of all, reset the counter. This is the first thing we tell our code. Reset the counter. This is row 0. Okay, and now I'm gonna get the data table, the list. I'm gonna get the variable. Okay, this is the variable that came through here, and we set. It's the same thing. We taken it, and we going to get row. Sorry. Let's go get data table row names. Right? Okay, and what this is gonna do, this function is gonna take this data table that I put here, and it's gonna return to me an array with all the list inside my with all the rows inside my list. Okay, it's gonna return this array. This is array. I have here like a few rows I added to the list. Okay, and here in my this output is gonna be an array of rows, and each row is a row in my list. Okay, and I want to get. Okay, so I'm gonna grab this. I'm gonna write get. Okay, and I want to get through here. Okay, here I can type which number from which one of the array rows I want to get. Okay, here is the number that I want to get, and I'm just going to grab current row. Okay, because current row is currently pointing at the right row. Okay, that's the number. So it starts at 0. Okay, so first time we're going through here, we're going to get the first row, which is 0 for here, and later we're going to get the other rows, because we're going to push this forward, like increment this every time this this goes for. I'll show you soon. So I got the row, I got the first row 0 here, and now I'm going to go and get this. I always forget this. Let's see, it's called under utilities, get data table row. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Get data table row, and I'm going to connect it here. Okay, so this is gonna take the row that I just told them. Okay, it needs, of course, the data table to look at. So I'm gonna grab this, copy, and I'm gonna paste it here and connect it. Okay, and it's gonna look at the row name. Okay, and if it found it, if it matched the row name, okay, and it will, it returns to me the data of that row. Okay, the data of the row. And now I can break this. Okay, and when I write break, you see I'm just gonna pull from here. I'm gonna write break, and I'm gonna choose subtitles struct, which is the struct that we've built, because this is the data type that we are having in the list. Okay, this is a list of structs, of subtitles structs, and we are breaking it into its components. Now I have, for that particular row, I have the text, which line, remember, line to show and narration sound. I have line to show and narration sound for each particular row. So I can grab the sound of that row and the text of that row. So what I can actually do now is take my subtitle widget reference, okay, that we created before. Remember here, that's the widget, that's the text that we are showing. And remember that we created in that widget, we created display line. Remember that function? So if the row is found, okay, sorry, if you found the row, right, show me, take the text from line to show and set it as the title. Okay, let me go through this again just to make it more clear. Let's change here the rows to something more easy to understand. So we have 3 rows here. Let's have this second row and third row. Okay, this is my ship computer subtitle list. Okay, this is this, and we have, let's put 3 pieces of data in it. In the first row we have hello and no sound. In the second one we're gonna tell them my name is nobody. Okay, and in the third one the line to show value will be goodbye, goodbye. Okay, so I have 3 lines here. Okay, hello, my name is nobody, and goodbye. Row 1, 2, and 3. And now when I go through here the logic, let me show you. So I'm telling him, take the list that you got, give me the names. Okay, give me the name according to the row that we are at, which is 0. We start always at 0. This is the beginning. Okay, give me so it's 0. It's the first one. Give me the first name. It's gonna return. Sorry, it's going to return. It's going to return. It's going to return this name. You see the 1, 2, 3. These are the names. You see row name 1, row name 2. Okay, it's going to return this. And so it's going to return through here the text 1. And now it's going again to the list and it's looking for 1. Okay, and if he's finding it, row found, he's going to take the data in that row and it's going to set it here. Okay, so now after I displayed the first line, the first row, right, I want to take the current row value, okay, and I want to increment it because we're moving to the next one. So I want to, I typed ++, okay, and this is like typing current row set current row +1. Okay, it's like doing, it's like taking current row and set it to current row plus 1. Okay, let's do it like this. It's the same, it's exactly the same thing. So this adds 1 to current row. So now current row after this finishes, it's not 0 anymore, it's 1. It's moving on to the next line. Okay, and whenever we go in here to get, it's gonna get the second line, which is not 1. Okay, the first line is 0, the second one is 1. Okay, this is how array works. Great, so this should work. Let's continue. Now let's see what happens if it's not the first line, right? So if it's not the first line, we don't need to reset the line because it should be the line that is it's not 0, right? It's not reset, but I still need to get again. I need to get the data table again, right? I need to take my current narration list. I want to get the data table row names again. I'm just repeating what I did here before. Okay, so I'm taking that. Okay, I'm getting again one of the row names. Which one? I'm going to get the current row name number. On the second time around, it's going to be number 1. Remember, from 0 to 1. So it's going to take 1, which is the second one in the array. It's going to take this one. My name is nobody. All right. And now I'm going to get the data table row. Get the data table row. Okay. Of our data table. Okay, and I'm gonna get the name, which I got from here. And again, I'm gonna do exactly the same. I'm gonna take that row that I got. Okay, that row that I got, the second one, which has list, line to show and narration sound. It has 2 of those. And I'm gonna, out from the row, I'm gonna type break subtitles struct. That's the type that we are working on. And I have those 2 data types broken off. And now again, I can take my subtitle widget ref. Okay, type display line, which is the function that we did inside the widget that just changes the text. Remember from the first part from the beginning. And I'm just gonna hook it up here like so. Okay, and of course, when I'm done with that, okay, I'm gonna do again the same thing. I'm gonna take and add 1 to our current row, which means that the next time this nice flow will be called, next time it's gonna go through here. Okay, it's not gonna be the first line, so it's not going up here, it's going down here to false, and then it's gonna go and get now number 2. Okay, which is the third one in the list. Remember, it's always +1 when we're talking about arrays, because the first one is 0 and the second one is 1. Okay, and again, it will just increment this number once more, and it's just gonna go loop until all the list here is complete. How are we going to call this nice piece of code that we just wrote? How are we going to call it in our event track, in our level sequence? So let's see how we're going to do that. So we're going back to our level sequence here. Okay, remember? And now let's go, let's say, to frame 30. Okay, and we're going to add a new event here. Okay, and we're going to right click it, properties. And here we're going to go to create quick binding, and we go to our show line. Remember the function we just created. And now it asks us, okay, for show line 1, is it the first line? Yep, it's the first line. It's the first line we're going to show. And now it asks me which one is, what list do you want to show? Narration list. Okay, so I'm going to just right here, ship computer subtitle list. Okay, and let's hit play and see what happens.
Hello, Fred. Sorry
See?
for waking you up.
Hello is up.
I'm sure it's nothing to be.
Very, very nice. But we want to see the other events. So let's just choose. I wanted to appear again on row 60. So I'm gonna choose this again. Okay, sorry, I'm gonna do a new one, just this once, because this is not a new line. What we just did is for a new line. What we're gonna do is we're gonna right click again. Sorry, we're gonna add another key. Okay, and we're gonna right click. And again, we're gonna do a new quick binding, show line. Okay, this is show line 2. Okay, right? And because it's not the first line, I'm not gonna take this, but I am gonna use the same ship computer, right? It's the same thing. Let's hit play now.
Hello, Fred. Sorry for waking you
Okay, you see, my name is nobody. Great. And now what I can do, I can just take this one, the second one. It's important because the first one, remember, it has first line on, so we cannot copy it because it will copy the data too. We can copy the second one though. So I can copy paste. Sorry. Can copy and paste it here. Right, and now if I press play,
Hello, Fred. Sorry for waking you up.
you see it's playing all three of them. Let's see it again. Hello, my name is nobody. Goodbye.
I'm sure it's nothing to be.
Great. And now I can actually do something even more to the point. I can take all those events that I created to the right places.
Fred. Sorry for.
Okay, here, this is sorry for waking you up.
I'm sure it's not.
And I'm sure, okay. And now we can actually go to my list and right here, the real stuff. So it's hello Fred, right? Second one is sorry for waking you up, and I'm sure it's nothing to be alarmed about, blah blah blah. Okay, let's finish here. Now if I press play.
Sorry for waking you up. I'm sure it's nothing to be.
Okay, cool. It stops because just because the sequence is not all the way through. Okay, and now I can tweak this. I want the subtitles a little bit before the text starts, or maybe a little bit after the text starts. Okay, so let's see now.
Hello, Fred. Sorry for waking you up. I'm sure it's nothing to be alarmed about, but.
Okay, it's cool. So it's working. That's it for now. Thank you for staying, and please subscribe or follow me on Twitter if you found this useful. Also, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. See you later.